All right, hi everybody. We are on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with Jim Cramer. Jim, the markets are up. The Turkish lira stabilizing.
Yeah, but look, let's not get carried away. This is one of those markets where we're going to have to do some retesting, some in and out, some juking, because that's what happens. There's still going to be people who say, "Wait a second, this Turkish lira situation is really a very important, the so-called canary in the coal mine," which is such a cliche. So let's don't get carried away. Market's still not oversold, but certainly pick. I mean, Home Depot was down a couple of bucks at one point. That's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, what's with Home Depot? Because the comp's 8%.
Yeah, because what people have to look, it's a very transparent company. They talked about some costs going higher, which basically just said, maybe the gross margin's not going to be that good. I say don't worry. When I say don't worry, what that means is wait and then pick up some, but understand that anybody who's talked about raw costs, stock's going down. And that's why people keep coming back to Amazon, which somehow has managed to, they haven't had this problem. And they go back to Alphabet, and that's they go to Salesforce. So understand that that's just kind of the way of the world, and deal with it accordingly by saying, once they say raw costs, the stock can go down, a la PepsiCo, and then it goes up.
Jim, we always look at comps when we look at retail, but how about those buybacks? You've been talking a lot about buybacks. $6 billion for Home Depot.
Look, I mean, then a lot of people are going to say that's how they made the quarter. I don't really care how they made the quarter.
Right.
The fact is, comparable store sales are really what I look at, and comparable store sales were just excellent.
And we've talked about here how buybacks maybe create a floor for a lot of these stocks.
Well, I mean, I think that they don't necessarily. One of the things that people have to recognize is buybacks create a longer-term floor. They don't. Other than Apple, which just stands there, but they can't overwhelm. A buyback can't prevent concentrated selling. So if you have concentrated selling on the call, because people say, "Wow, I got to get out before people realize how bad Home Depot is," then what happens is that boom, and at one point it's down $2. What an opportunity!
The numbers for Home Depot look better than Tapestry, yet the stock reaction in Tapestry is a lot better.
The issue with Tapestry is consistency. And Victor Luis, who was on Mad Money tonight, what he's been delivering is a traditional accessory story, not unlike Michael Kors. They didn't have the same numbers as Kors, but I just think, wow, what would happen to Stuart Weitzman in Flex? So, I mean, I think Coach is fine. It had come down a lot from previous quarter, but the thing that people have to recognize is that accessories are the hottest area of retail, and that continues.
Kate Spade comps down 3%. Analysts were expecting down 7%.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, when you look at this company, what you see is another company where handbags, which is probably the hottest of the hot, is doing well.
And we should point out, Jim, your charitable trust owns Nordstrom and Kohl's.
Yeah, now Nordstrom is, they've been very disappointing, but we've managed to be able to buy it when it's down and sell it when it's high. It's not ideal because we're not traders. Kohl's is just exploding. Kohl's has joined the Sainted Group along with Burlington and TJX. We've had to say last week on our conference call that we liked it, but the stock's now up 4 points. Go back over that conference call. It made a lot of sense there. We had a lot of good rules.
Yes, you can watch a replay of that on actionalertsplus.com. Meanwhile, Jim, last night you had the CEO of Brinks on. He's still
story.
Cash is king.
Yeah, he's talked about 6% growth in cash, which is twice what the GDP is. I think a lot of people feel that it's cashless society. Will give me a break. Now, Dan Schulman, boy, someone put on a note today saying Venmo is growing faster. I mean, growing not as growing as Square. I love Square. Okay, there's no flies on Square. Square is terrific. Not taking away from PayPal, but this is a society that is, as is the rest of the world, that mostly does use cash, and cash is the big competitor to PayPal.
Well, the CEO of Brinks might have to find a new GDP analogy of President Trump if we get his forecast of 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just think that what matters with Brinks is they merged with Dunbar. By surprise, I didn't expect that to the end of the quarter. The stock, Bruce Kamish came out today and says he doesn't like the chart. I like the funnies.
Okay, Jim, we'll watch you tonight on Mad Money, 6 p.m. And Jim and I are going to continue talking about stocks in our actionalertsplus.com video. Please join us there.